Hello there, everyone. This is Charlie Barley. In this video, what I'm going to be doing is actually having you guys take a listen to a phone call that I had with one of my mentorship students. I've had a few people who wondered how's the program going and what's the success of it, considering that it's a system that I say that it's unbeatable and it's also guaranteed to never ever fail. Um, and in fact, it cannot. And we've done over 1 million test studies over it, and we have a 95% win rate over 1 million spins. And what I'm going to do is just let you listen to one of my mentor students from California talk about his experience so far, and then I'll be back with closing remarks. Okay? Take a listen.
All right, so Vernell, you on the line?
Yeah, I'm here. How's everything
What's up,
going?
bud? Man, I'm good. I'm
Uh,
good,
uh,
man.
yeah, I'm
Good
good
day.
too.
Appreciate you. Yeah, man. Like I was saying before, man, appreciate, number one, you doing this. And before I even get started, I just want to just disclaim this. Now, I want you to speak candidly, and I want the good and the bad. Okay? So
Okay.
when we're talking about this, I want you to talk about the discipline and the patience and things like that, because what I want to do is tell the well, at least you know what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to build a team,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and I have a few more people left, and there are folk who really don't believe that it is what I say it is, and I've got emails of people who are very skeptical, and I understand it because people say, okay, well, you're going to pay an upfront charge for it, and is it foolproof like you said? Is it that 95% thing like you said? And all of those things, and we're going to talk about and you seen it. You saw we did a 1 million spin test, right? We had a
Right, I saw it.
95% win rate. You saw it.
I saw it. Follow the algorithm that you provide, the shit falls right to you.
Right.
Ain't,
Right. So,
ain't no voice like,
right.
go
It's just
ahead, man,
no.
go ahead.
it, it's stupid because when you get it, like you said, it's 95%. Anyway, I'm gonna go back into that question, but before I get started, I want to know, like, first of all, how did you find me? I mean, of course, I think you saw me on YouTube, obviously. But
Yeah.
like, when did you start kind of following me, and then what made you call?
Well, I followed you a while, like your first, what I remember, your first set of videos. I followed it. I was like, man, this is a different method than I was doing. Let me look into it. Because I used to bet the numbers, especially on
Mm-hmm.
the American wheel around the zero and double zero. And I was like, man, he's talking about algorithms, profit and losses. Like, I was like, oh, this is mind blowing. Let me look into it. Then I didn't jump on the first time. Then the second time around, when you introduced the team play, I was like, hey, I got an opportunity to pick this man's mind. Let me go for it.
You know what? I forgot because you came in right when I first started team play. Of course, I stopped it and I started doing the
Yeah.
mentorship, which is, I mean, team play, for what you remember team play is, and the mentorship thing that you're doing now, is it night and day?
Yes, it's night and day. It's night and day. It's
It's
night
night
and
and
day.
day.
The team play, the team play was nothing like this mentorship. Nothing.
All
Didn't
right.
even
Well,
compare.
wow. Wow. See, I got, you know what? I have emails. I have a lot of people saying a lot of good things, but I don't do videos like this, and I don't, talk about everybody who's saying all the good things, because there's a lot of good things being said. So what I want to do is have a straight-up candid interview, and you're a very candid person. Speak how you want, say what you want, and I don't want you to be unhinged in what you say. Of course, I don't want you to give away any secrets, but
I got you. I got you.
but you know what I'm
Shit,
saying?
I have
Just
to pay
for
for those secret shit.
right. speaking of speaking of
Get
speaking of
away
paying
for
for the
free.
secret, speaking of paying for the secret, how long did it take you to double the money? I'm not talking about the
Um.
mistakes you made. That like the one
Okay.
time we're going to talk about how you purposely lost the money and you almost doubled it.
Right.
right? Or
We're not
something
talking. We
along that
talking
line.
about that, or we're not talking about that. Yeah.
No, I want to talk about that, but I'm just saying, how long did it take you from the time that you paid to the time that you got all your money back? How long did that take you?
It took about 2 weeks. But
And that's
me
including
being
training,
me,
right?
that's including that's everything.
Okay, gotcha.
But me being me is just that I wasn't disciplined. If I was disciplined, it would have came faster than that. I got it, lost it, like I was playing a roller coaster ride from being undisciplined.
So, like, when you say undisciplined, like, go into that. Like, what do you mean? Because that's one of the big things I always preach, and you know that. Like, well, in all the videos that you see in the mentorship program, I'm always talking about discipline and patience, because I say at the end of your patience is a pot of gold. And now you're seeing it. And now you're making, I'm going to let you tell it. But talk about patience and, like, what you were doing before, and, like you said, discipline, and how you said you had to have that discipline because you were making money but you weren't taking money. So talk about that.
Okay, so basically, like, anybody that get into this, any roulette game, discipline is the key. Make your money, set your daily goals, how much you want to make, or better yet, set your daily goals, not daily goals, set your goal for every time you sit out this roulette wheel, how much money you want to make. Set that goal, hit it, make the money, and leave. You will always come back. The wheel's there, casino's there, in Vegas, wherever, it's online, you on your phone, you can always come back. So set your goal and leave, come back. And being disciplined, that's the key. Everybody want to have that gambler's mentality and want to win all the money they can at one sitting.
Mm-hmm.
No, that was my issue. I want to sit down here for 2 hours and make $1,000. No, I sit there. I spend two hours, and I can make $500. I can lose $1,000, just being undisciplined. But if my goal was $1,000 a day, I can sit down there for, let's say, 15, 20, let's say 30 minutes. I hit my $100, come back. Next time I come back, I'll probably do 15 minutes and hit my $100, come back. Now I'm 200 into my $1,000 goal, only sitting down for 45 minutes. And once you learn it, the algorithms, learn the methods, it's that easy. Sit back and be patient, watch the game, because the game will come to you. Patience, discipline, you'll make your money and walk away. I want this to be my full-time job. But I haven't got there yet. But that's the goal.
All right. So now, am I lying or not? Right now, you're averaging about $3,000 a week. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah. No, you're right. You're not lying.
And the reason I know I'm not,
I said it's me that I can average that. I'm undisciplined. Until this week, I became like, I had to talk to myself, look at myself in the mirror, listen to Michael Jackson, Searching for the Man in the Mirror, and just know that I could do this for myself. Like, I could do this. And
see,
ever since I did that, I've been killing it.
You've been killing it. And so, all right, so I want to go back and talk about, like, when you first started, because like you was talking about, discipline is one thing, but understanding and having a sound strategy, because it took now 3 years for me to develop a strategy where it's a guarantee. Now, I guarantee that it's unbeatable, right?
Right.
Okay, so based upon what you know and what you've seen and what you've tested, how do you now view if I'm saying this is guaranteed that it can beat the game, what do you think now?
I'm a believer, 100% believer, because I've seen it.
Right.
I've seen it, everything fall into you, like, oh, man, this is unbeatable. If you stay disciplined, you will be unbeatable. Take your winnings and leave, you're unbeatable.
The key is taking your winnings and leaving. Now, here is the problem now. The problem is people having the wrong strategy. Because even if you have a strategy that wins, when it's inconsistent, you don't know how to make it consistent. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's one of the reasons why I did the mentorship program is because of a couple things, and I'm going to throw it right back to you, was because I always said this in the beginning. I said I kind of went a little long with it because I wanted to really endow the concept of discipline. And so I had you guys doing a lot of different things to start developing discipline in your plan. But the discipline in your plan has to marry the strategy. Because if your strategy is weak, you can be disciplined all you want. You just have a weak strategy. And a lot of people will get, and you were telling me this, a lot of folks get hung up on having a decent strategy until it loses and they don't know how to rebound from it because they don't understand the variables. So talk about the training, like in terms of what you were doing and how you saw the game before, now that you've gotten into the mentorship program and you're seeing it being proven over and over again because of what you're learning, even really kind of beyond X and O's in terms of wins. Like, what are you really learning about the game as a result of like the mentorship program?
So before, my strategy was the zeros. I was to bet around the 2 zeros, and then I noticed that, okay, I'll be there all day. Or sometimes I jump in and it's the wrong time. Now with the mentorship and the strategy you teach, is like, oh, I'm not there waiting all day. I'm patient, but I'm not waiting for my numbers. And plus, to be able to jump in and jump out is the discipline part. Before, I was like, I used to want to, every time I played the game of roulette, I want to win as much money as I can. But that's not the mentality that I got now. Now I want to sit back, oh, let me win a couple $100 and I'm okay. Because I'm sitting at a job for 8 hours and I'm making that same couple of hundred over 8 hours. Not sitting here for less than 30 to 45 minutes and making that same couple $100 in that little bit of time and walking away. And then I'll have the rest of my day to do whatever the fuck I want. I'm at a job for 8 to 10 hours stuck here. I'm stuck at the job trying to make the same amount of money that I'm making on roulette.
Right, and you're doing it like in 45 minutes. You know, one of the things that, and you could attest to, is something that I've never seen before, is how we're able to depict like 100 straight wins. Now, am I kidding you when that sounds crazy, doesn't it? Or am I lying to you when I say that?
No, not at all. At first, I was like, this man lying. No, you got to show it to me. Show me. And
right, because you paid
like,
good money.
I paid, I
paid.
Yeah.
Right, you paid.
I was like, whatever you got, let me see it. Because what I'm doing now, I'm going to lose, and I'm going to be working all my life.
Right.
That's something that I didn't want for myself. So, if it costs this much amount of money for me to see it, hey, here you go. I look at it as the fee to start business. You go pay somehow.
Right.
Either anything, real estate, you want a real estate person, you go pay. Mentorship in real estate, mentorship in stock market, anything that make big money in the mentorship, you're going to pay to get mentored. And
would you say so far the mentorship is worth it?
Oh, hell yeah. By far worth it. By far.
Yeah, man. And I'm saying that because I really want to build my team. And how is it working with me? That's another thing. Because a lot of folks think that, you know, you just get a video or whatever and then that's it. But how is it working with me and, like, the information that you're getting directly from me? How is that?
That was great because you have to pick up the phone and call. Either you go answer the phone, most likely you answer the phone. You tell them, or I tell you what's going on. You're like, okay, this is what you did wrong. Oh, that was good, but this is how you can make it better. you always accessible, always. Like I haven't came into no issue where I send an email or text message where you didn't reply.
Yep.
So
Yep.
so your availability is 100.
Right. and the reason it's like that is because I know what I got works. So there's no reason to hide. I mean, there's nothing but money for us to make because
Right.
it's 100% the truth. And we do have a legitimate 95% win rate. That's legitimate. And what's crazy is that we have spans of wins. Like the way that we're able to work. See, I look at it like this. Like it's the system. Whatever strategy that you have, it has to have like a really, really good redundancy system in it. What I mean by that, and I was talking to you about this a couple of days ago. I was talking about a car. Like for the most part, when you're driving your car, you're only doing between 35 and maybe 55, if that, for the most part when you're driving. But the car itself, the engine, actually is capable of reaching speeds really, really, high, like, 190, 160, 170 miles an hour. But you rarely see people driving that fast because it's really, really dangerous, right? But the car itself has to have that capacity in it. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It has to be able to have that performance. But in terms of driving, because the roads shift and change and the speeds are up and down and you got all these other variables to consider, that's one of the reasons why they have cops on the corners to slow people down, because there's a lot of variables to consider, so you can't just push it. So one of the things I always try and teach is you can't push the game. The game has to come to you, but you've got to understand the variables that affect the game from an algorithmic perspective. And then once that's dissected, it's then kind of lights out. But of course, that's the hard part, and that's the thing that you end up paying for in terms of the mentorship. The goal for me in the mentorship program is to have people playing it like Vernell, and you guys pay. I mean, there's an upfront charge, but then there's 30% that you pay for having it. But let me ask you this, Vernell. You, within the time that you started, like you said, within 2 weeks, you already had your money back. You recently lost the money, though, right?
Oh, yeah. Yes, I did.
But the thing, it's not so much that you lost. We're going to talk about the loss. But the fact is that within just 2 days, it's already back or near it. But tell us of the mentality. Because you had already, the cost of the program is $3,000 right now, okay? That's what you paid. You made that within training. And one thing I will say about you, you picked up the phone, you text back, you email back. And that's the reason why you had success, because you were on it. And I always say, there's no way in the world I'm going to give anybody $3,000 or $300 and you not be what you say, particularly $3,000. I mean, that's just no way. And I said, make sure that when you join this, that you don't let me off the hook, because I got the answers for you. But you got to be into it. And that's exactly what you did. You really, you were right there, and you gave me exactly what I was looking for. So that's the thing. It's like having teammates like that. That's what I'm looking for. And so there's a 30% fee that you pay on once you win. But given what you've just done, think in this in terms of perspective, because I always talk about this from a business perspective. Right now, we're seeing increases on a daily basis of 1,000%. Am I right or wrong?
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Even if you lose money, right? And stop me when I'm wrong. I mean, even if you're confused and you don't know the answer, just say, hey, man, I don't know what you're talking about, okay? So just be real. Be one, as I always say, be 1,000. So even if, let's say you lose money, what's so significant about losing, even when you're playing this? There's something very significant about it. But what's significant
Oh,
about it?
yeah. So for me, what I got out of it, once I lose, I got to make sure I have the bankroll because it's not set up for you to continue to lose. Once you lose, it's like an anomaly that, oh, okay, I lost, but I know right after this loss is going to be at least 10 wins. So it's okay to lose because I look at it as the price of doing business. It's okay to lose to come back to win.
Mm. You know what's funny,
So,
man? It's like a lot of folks think, you know, I would have to give it up. And we had this discussion before, man, about like how the casino, how they market. They make us stupid. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they market it to us, the drinks, the women, the booze, the lights, the cameras. And people honestly don't see, like, I don't understand, like, how you can go to a casino, you have a 50-50 bet, right? And in business, you don't have a 50-50 shot. That's not statistically the truth. You have like a 90-10 shot. That's the statistical truth. At a casino environment, you have a minimum of 50-50. So that alone tells me there is something I'm missing here. Like from a numbers perspective, why is it that 90% is my odds if I started a quote-unquote legitimate business? But even doing that, even if I'm a part of that 10% in business, like you were saying, I still got to pay. I still got to pay taxes. I still got to pay a lot of different things. Even if I'm doing day trading, you still got to pay taxes, and you might make a trade where it does pay off in 2 weeks. Or you might be on a downward trend on an index, and you're just waiting for that right moment. If you're a poker player, it might be 12 hours before, you see what I'm saying, before you get what you need back. But in doing what we're doing, what do you see in terms of like frequency? How fast is this, your abilities to make money?
Oh, man, that shit is instant. And that's
when you
the
say
truth. That's the
instant,
truth.
no, don't lie to them.
That's my truth. That's my truth. I can sit back and lose $30,000 and then sit my ass back down and make all that back. So that's my truth. But other people are different. I'm okay with pushing the limits. Some people not.
Well, okay, see, when you talk about pushing limits, I think the only reason you're pushing limits is because you have a knowledge, right?
Right.
For example, like you wouldn't try to push your car to go 160 miles an hour if you know the thing only goes a maximum of 40, right?
No, right.
But you know it goes 160. That's the reason you're pressing the gas, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you're pushing the limits, it's because we legitimately have a 95% win rate. And because of that, when you push those limits, you're always winning because you're in that streak zone that happens to go for a while.
Yes.
And what you're doing is you're taking the money in the middle of that zone and you're pulling out. It's almost like, I think to be a really good investor, like I think the best thing to do is to catch the market when it's hot and to also pull out when it's high. You know what I mean?
That's right. Yeah.
You know, you don't want to wait until it falls. Get it when it's hot and then get out when it's high. And that's the concept of survival, but you have to have a strategy that's able to, number one, be able to provide that avenue in time. Because if you have a mediocre strategy, the time for you to make a redemption if you should lose might be too long for you to keep the strategy. And a lot of people don't look in strategies from a perspective of time. We often talk about time like in our sessions, like you were talking. Talk about how you see, or how do you correlate time and money now as a result of like some of the stuff that I'm teaching?
Oh, time is, with this, the game always goes on. So when you can come in and make $200 in 30 minutes, 45 minutes, That's all you need. You leave and then, but the game is always going on. So you always got time to come back and make your money back. If you lose, hey, it's always that time that, okay, I lost now, but I could come back and make it back.
Right.
Like, no worries about that.
That was always a bigger crutch for a lot of people. Here's another big thing that people have problems with: martingale. They always, I don't want to do martingale. I don't want to go. What's the maximum amount of progressions do you ever have to go?
6.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you again because that doesn't sound. You now I think you're lying to me. What's the maximum amount of? What's the maximum amount of progressions, bro? Let's be honest here. How many?
6. The max I saw, but in the 95 percentile, is 6. 95%.
You never have to go beyond 6 progressions.
No, one time. I fell into it one time but I've got to understand the game keeps going on and on. Since I got in the game, it might be on this 100 spin. It might be ready for it to hit that 5% or that 1%. I fell into it, and I lost $3,000 by falling into that 1%.
And the thing is that you didn't even have to do that because the maximum progressions is how much? 6. 6 progressions is all you have to do, and that's going to keep you at that 95, and you'll be able to make up from there. That's what's crazy, is that you never have to go beyond 6. Even if you lose, you'll still make it back, right? Because like you said, that 1%, like you hit that 1%. I mean, of course, like you were talking earlier, you kept betting. Like you didn't believe it would go beyond it, so you kept betting. And I've always said, hey, the max is 6. So at that point, but you end up making the money back just doing it the right way in 2 days. That's right. So it's like once you told me that, I was like, hey, just stay right at 6. And voila magic, and here you are right back again. But that's just what's so crazy is that the fact that it's 6 progressions is the maximum progressions that you ever have to go. And the thing is, you never really have to even run into to even losing at all, because as long as you hit it, you start, like you watch the method and you kind of monitor it, and then the algorithm will kind of, just as long as you're following it, and it's gonna, you'll see it just start to streak, and then that's when you jump in, you take what you get, and then you leave. Because you literally could, I always teach this, you can do for 4 spins. So if you can make $10 on 4 spins consistently. See, the thing about good strategy is you have to be able to do this today and 2 years from now, right? You can't do something today and then think, I need to change this in 6 months because you started to see a downward trend. Your strategy has to be able to outlast for forever. So that's the reason we did a 1,000 spin test, and that's how we got our 95% numbers. That's what you saw. You actually saw all one. You have the spreadsheet.
Yeah, I got the spreadsheet.
You got the spreadsheet. So now it's just a matter of 6 progressions, but like I was saying, is that you don't even ever have to lose. But going back to your point is, because a lot of folks get this kind of twisted. They think that I came into the game and I lost the moment that I came in. Like you said, okay, you just came in for that moment, that 1 minute. The game has been playing for the last 24 hours. So by the time you came in, that the cycle of algorithm and the permutations that exist that are limited, in fact, they tend to repeat. You might have came in at the right moment, and that happens. It's a part of the game, And I always preach this. It's like, it's a game. You have to play it like a game. If you're playing football, you might get tackled. Might.
Yeah.
But if you're dominant, and that's listen, how many games have you seen where a team went, let's say like the Patriots were playing someone and the score ended up being 49-zip? You've seen games like that, right?
Yeah, I've seen games like that.
But have you ever seen a game where it was 49-zip and no one got tackled?
No, not at all. Not at
You know what I'm saying?
all.
It's a
I
part
know
of the
what you're
game.
saying.
Right. So it's like, it wouldn't even be a game if that was not the case, right?
Right. Whoa.
What would it be? So I have to constantly remind, like, part of the mentorship program, and I'm done. I appreciate your time, man, but I'm just going to wrap up and say this, is that, I first of all, Vernell, bro, like, number one, part of the mentorship program is to hook up with good people like yourself. And it's not, you know, there's an old song, it ain't no fun if the homies can't have none. You know what I'm talking about, West Coast.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm saying? So
I know what you're saying.
it really isn't. And it's like, to be able to share this and to have the same kind of energy, it's like, it really is awesome for me. And so, again, man, the fact that you catch on very, very quickly. And one thing I do say is what he never did this, and it's the reason why I'm doing an interview with him right now. He's never tried to create something different.
No.
You never did that.
Never. You got something that's working, man, no need to try to reinvent the wheel.
You reinvent the wheel. Because a lot of people get frustrated because they're trying to understand the algorithmic or the sometimes when people have a lack of discipline, they just tend to I'm not saying they're reckless, but they just lose patience. And then they want to try to figure out something that's quicker, when the fact is that patience actually pays you more. Am I right or wrong? I think you learned that. Yeah.
I learned the hard way. But I after learning the hard way, I got it. Be patient. Hey, the game will come to you. Once you know the algorithm, the game will come to you.
Every time. And that happens every hour on the hour, right?
Every hour on the hour. Every hour on the hour.
Every hour, literally. Every hour on the hour.
You don't need to chase nothing. It's going to come to you.
That's it, man. That's another thing, guys. Listen to what he just said. You don't have to do what?
You don't have to chase it.
Chase it. A lot of folks want, like I said, the max progression is 6, and that's even if you ever come to, like, even if you ever come to it. But now I'm sure you'll probably come to it, but it's so rare that you have to be playing very consistently to come to that, right?
That's right. It's rare.
It's rare. So the way to dodge that is just play within all the streets. Win a few, and over time increase your money. Doing the same thing, like like I always say, if you could win $10 playing 4 times, you can win $1,000 playing 4 times.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and that just keeps you from ever having to take a loss. And because if you take a loss, it's not in our method. You don't lose. You lose money, but you can make it up really easily. The only thing you're going to lose is time.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it. And you'll make it all back up. And then some, a whole lot more. But it's just that you have to spend another 2 hours, you know, trying to make it back up. So, you know, it's something like that, you know, total time. Total time is like 2 hours. But anyway, man, I appreciate you doing this, man, and let's go continue to make some money. Your goal, I always said how fast you were able to come up, and I said that you were going to make $100,000 in the next 6 months. I think you could actually do more than that in 6 months.
Oh, yeah. I know I can.
In 6 months.
You got to be disciplined. You got to be disciplined.
That's it. That's it. You have to have a winning strategy, but I don't care how good it is. If you have no discipline, that's going to kill you. And people think being still is being disciplined. That's not what we're talking about. Discipline in terms of saying or understanding the bigger picture. You know what I mean? Like, for example, like if you hit that 1%, like I said, okay, so what happened after you lost it? You didn't play, but what happens? That thing went for 40, 50 straight.
Yeah.
And then you're like, man, discipline says, okay, I just hit I had to pay, like you called it, you said I had to pay my dues. Like, that was the
Yeah.
interest fee to the pot of gold. So the pot of gold cost you $200. He's like, okay, you paid that because you went past that 6. And then after that, that's when that's how you're up. That's how you lost all that. You lost 3,000 and you almost won it all back in 2 days. Just because of discipline. Yeah.
Just because get in, get out. Stick and move. Stick and
move. Bob and weave. That's how the best boxers did it, right? Ali. That's how the best did it. Look at Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee did not gaffle with anyone.
No.
He was cat lightning fast. He did his do and he got out.
Stick and move.
He knocked you out. Mike Tyson, I was looking at some old footage of Mike Tyson, man. And for a heavyweight, he had the fastest hands ever. For a heavyweight. I don't know. I mean, I would say fastest hands in terms of power. You know what I mean?
Right.
But Ali probably had the fastest hands. But in terms of power, I've never seen anybody move that much weight that quick. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, and he knocked people out in, first round because he had so much power in his arm. But don't you know, he had to build up his strength over time. He didn't have that power the first time he started boxing.
No.
He had to build it up. And by the time he went professional, he knocked people out in one round. So my whole point is to equate the same thing, the same skill set that you would use in boxing, that you would use in golf, you would use in any type of game in terms of developing your skill set. Like in your case, because it's already kind of laid out for you, once you got it, you got over your own problem was your own patience. And once you got over that hook, now you're still farming them. And you're hitting them with a lot of strength. And that's because your minimums are higher because now the casino is playing for you. The casino's funding your hits.
Right.
It's like they're beating up their own self now.
Mm-hmm. And you put this money in my pocket, you're going to help it grow.
You have to grow because it's their job to beat you and it's your job to beat them. That's the key. Mm-hmm. And sometimes they take a lick, but at the end of the day, you're always the champion. Like, that's one of the reasons why the concept is guaranteed. It's 100% guaranteed in writing. And it's like, at worst come to worst, I think you could be a millionaire doing it. I mean, the more patience you have, the more money you'll make. Am I right or wrong?
No, you're right. You're right.
And that sounds crazy. It seems like you would probably make a lot more money playing more. That's not really the case. No. That's not how you do that.
Get there.
Right. It's like the longer you stay, even at 95%, it's the time. It's not losing money. It's time. So you might run into an anomaly back to back, or say you run into an anomaly within 30 spins of each other. So maybe you didn't have enough time to make up all of what you just previously lost. But you had another one that hit back to back because you're being too consistent. That's fine. That just means you're going to have to spend like 2 more hours or 3 more hours at the game. And that's fine for a lot of people if they got the time. But a lot of folks got children and family. So my objective was to be able to create something where you can make money quickly and delineate the risk almost to nothing and spend more time doing the things you want to do. That's how it works for me.
I agree with you.
Yes, sir. All right, brother, man. I'm not going to hold you much longer, man. I appreciate the time, bro. And, so I'm looking forward to making some money, man. So, if you got any last thing you want to say before I let you go?
Yeah, if anybody decides to go into this mentorship, it's best money spent. It's like what the old saying, give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. Teach a man how to fish, he'll eat for the rest of his life. What you got here, you can provide for your family for the rest of your life. Stay
No.
disciplined, stay focused, and stick in and out. The game will come to you. Go in and out. You don't got to worry. Just stay disciplined, have the patience. The game will come to you. You will make your money. Just don't be greedy. Don't be greedy. That's the
That's
main
what's
thing.
up.
'Cause if you get greedy, the casino's going to get theirs. But if you stick and
Wow.
move, make your money, it's all yours. All yours for the taking.
Wow, bro. Thank you, man. I appreciate it, man, because like I said, it's like my first video. I'm gonna do another some more. I'm gonna do a couple more with you, like maybe in like another couple weeks. And and maybe the next time we do the video you can do like a screenshot and you can show so wherever you're at, so like another couple of weeks, you do a screenshot, and then like when we do a video, you can show like where you're at in a couple more weeks. But then also I'm gonna do some videos with a couple other of our teammates and partners who's a part of this too. Um, just being disciplined, guys, man, that's all we're talking about. So, all right, bro, take care, man. I'm gonna get back at you, all right?
All right, man. Have a good one.
All right, brother. See you.
Bye-bye.
All right, so there you have it, folks. That's one of my mentees, Vernell, who's doing quite well. I actually have another student who's averaging about $500 a day at this point, too. Totally, I have about right now about 4 or 5 students. I'm looking to get to 20, um, and that's just kind of where we are. And everyone is starting to slowly come up the ranks out of training. Training is about a week, I'd say, maybe 2 weeks. And one thing that you shouldn't do is try and reinvent the wheel and practice. Patience will be what's going to kill you, if anything. But the more you have, actually, the more money you make. Um, and if you want to get in touch, you want to get a part of this. Like I said, it's a 100% guaranteed system to win. I will break down the mathematical, all of the way the game works, and once you see how it works and how the algorithm works, it's just like it's almost like stock trading, except the variables that control the up and down are 95% in your favor based upon the algorithm. The variables are limited with the game. I keep telling people this. I've been saying this for the last 3 years. But I'm actually proving it. And like I said, I'm going to be continuing to show other students who's having success and doing um, more of these type of videos until I've got my team assembled. And then we'll see what happens next. But if you want to get in contact with me, call 855-PERM-PRO. That's 855-737-6776, I think. Or you can email me, permutationspro@gmail.com. So if I don't answer the phone, send me an email, and I'll definitely get in contact with you. Generally takes about 24, 48 hours for me to respond to most stuff. Um, this is really a lot of fun. It's the most fun I've ever had in my life. Um, I did not put him up to doing that. I mean, I just asked him did he want to do it, and so he did it, and he's right. You will be able to feed your family the rest of your life with this. It's 100% guaranteed. And when you truly discover it, um, when you really see it, it's really awe-inspiring. So continue to look more from me, and helping just a few people, uh, hopefully get rich. That's my goal. If I can make everyone rich who does this, that will be amazing. So anyway, till the next time, take care, and we'll see you soon.